Hey guys, Rebel95, recording live from the local county prison cell. I know it seems like it's been forever since I've done any videos of any sort, but kind of have to do it when I can because I'm not going to be available next week to do it. So I'd like to. I'll try to get in the prediction for the fight after Winter Soldier Red Hood, but I'm not going to be able to just. I'm not going to have time to just like. I might have to pre-record it like Sunday afternoon or something instead of doing it on Monday, which I would normally do. I would normally wait for, the day after and wait until then, but I might have to pre-record it. Anyway, this is the point. Funny enough, the next fight I had marked up was actually a Marvel DC fight, which I've spoken out about a lot. How I'm like, there are there are so many Marvel DC fights in general, but there are so many in Death Battle that I think people kind of like they think, okay, Marvel or DC character, which like when you think like I want this Marvel character in a Death Battle, you automatically think, okay, what DC character are we gonna put him up against? Which I don't think you should do. I really like it when there's a DC character against not a Marvel character, or a Marvel character against not a DC character. I really like that because I think it forces you to kind of expand your ideas. It forces you to kind of think like outside the box and really come up with some cooler ideas than just a Marvel DC fight. Not that there's anything wrong with Marvel DC fights. In fact, I think some of them you do have to do in order to do justice to them. And I think this is one of them. So this is Deadshot from DC Comics and Bullseye from Marvel. Now, this has been a fight that's been talked about for probably 30, 40 years going on. So, yeah, it's not, this isn't exactly like a hot take, but this is one of the ones that I think they would have to, that if they were going to put one of these characters in, they would have to do, against each other. And please do not make this a 3D fight. Or please do not make this a live action fight. Make it a 3D fight. Because, like, it's one thing to have hand to hand in live action, but to have, like, a shootout in live action would be so boring. I've spoken out about how I don't like live action. I don't like it's not that I don't like Ismahawk, but I don't like the live action death battles. Even though we're only going into the second one. Um, but yeah, I'm ignoring that. I'm gonna go into the fight here. So, this is kind of a hard fight to do because you've got two assassins that never miss, and neither are particularly bulletproof. So it's literally just who hits the other guy first. But we can't have that. You can't have a one-shot death battle, you know what I mean? So how do you go about measuring a fight that the difference would come down to like one bullet? Well, we've had human characters with guns go at it before. We've had Snake Sam Fisher. We've had things like Frank West versus Leon. We've had Laura Croft and Nathan Drake. So it's like, yeah, these are characters that it's, yeah, a bullet determines the difference. And I've done fights that haven't been done, with human characters, where, I've had, like, John Wick and Agent 47 and stuff like that. So there is a way to do it. The way you do it is you have to scale down the measurements, and you have to really, the little things matter a lot more. You know what I mean? So let's get into Deadshot. Um, I was debating whether to do this as like a, let's just talk about it. But no, I'm gonna go over the characters a little because there's not too much. So, Deadshot, Floyd Lawton, um, I mainly remember that because of Suicide Squad. I used to know a lot more characters' names, but now I just don't really care that much. Um, but yeah, Lawton is he was militarily trained. He's had several backstories like every DC character, but essentially is he is even to this day the second greatest assassin in the DC universe. Period. Second only to Deathstroke, and he is the greatest marksman in the DC universe, with no exceptions. Right? So, Hush, Green Arrow, any no, he is Deadshot is absolutely the greatest marksman in the DC universe, bar none. He has missed. He has missed against Batman, and that's been the whole thing. Is this one guy made him miss. Um, but yeah, generally, this guy does not miss, and he has insane accuracy. He can, with to the point where he doesn't even like half the time he doesn't even bother using regular guns. He has those like wrist mounted guns that he just kind of like aims and shoots. Because his accuracy is so great that he doesn't need anything with like a handle or a level sort of line, or a scope or anything. For most shots, he can just shoot you from a distance with bullets that he has on him, and just hit you that way. And he's also famous for ricocheting his bullets, which is doable in real life, but it's definitely not common, and it's not doable like 4 or 5 times like he does. He does insane shots. He does shots that are normally like literally impossible for humans to do. Mainly just because he has a natural talent for shooting. He's not like he's trained several million hours and he understands what he's doing, but he's just naturally gifted. So he's done things like he's like shot flies out of the air and stuff like that. He's ricocheted bullets several times off of differing surfaces, um, to like hit a target specifically. Um, he shot like individuals out of crowds of like hundreds, with no scopes and stuff. So he's done some insane things, and as like I said, I mentioned those wrist-mounted guns that he has, but he also has like he does have regular guns as well. He has handguns. He has, for whatever reason, he carries handguns, assault rifles, sniper rifles, all these different things. This guy, I mean, I don't remember him doing it ever in the comics, but I know he's he's managed to like tag the Flash while running. Now, not like max speed, not like universe changing running Flash, but he's managed to shoot like the Flash in the leg, in the one part of his body moving faster than any third of his body. He's managed to tag him. Like Deathstroke tagged Kid Flash, but that was in close proximity, and that was after he was forced to move a certain way with landmine. That doesn't really count. But yeah, so I remember that mostly from Injustice, but I'm sure he's probably done something equivalent to that. Anyone doesn't know, it's been several years since I've read any DC or Marvel comics consistently, so yeah. Um, but yeah, and then he's got the helmet, which gives him infrared. It gives him all these different types of vision, so he can see his targets, and he also has enhanced hearing with it. So that tuned up to its maximum, he can apparently hear hear like a butterfly, hear like a butterfly or a hummingbird's wing beat or something. So then we move on to Bullseye, who honestly is the more interesting of the two in my opinion. Um, so Bullseye's again a mercenary for hire, very famous as he's associated with people like Punisher and Deadpool and all the finest in the Marvel lineup of guys who shoot people. And he has earned himself a reputation uh, for being Marvel's greatest assassin on the simple basis that he has a skill that is the most ludicrous thing that I've ever seen. This man, regardless of this is not a superpower, this is not some sort of magic, it is a skill that he just naturally possesses. He can take any object that he is holding and throw it at terminal velocity, meaning fast enough to kill a person. Again, not a superpower, not a stand power, not a magic thing. Literally just something he learned to do. This man has spit his own tooth through a human skull. He's thrown a toothpick through a glass window at 100 yards away and killed someone. He's been known to throw an unlit cigarette through a man's temple to kill him. It's actually stupid. But yeah, with this sort of insane hand-eye coordination and improvisation, he quickly became one of the greatest assassins in the world, later becoming the greatest assassin in the world, and, associating with people like Daredevil and the Kingpin. Hand to hand, he's definitely no slouch, because he's fought Daredevil several times, fought Deadpool, Punisher, several guys like that, and he's also famous for killing Elektra. In his quote, in that fight, he kills the way that most people breathe. And later down the line, he got his bone. Well, I don't want to say laced, because they always say Wolverine's skeleton is either laced or infused, depending on the continuity you're going by, or the universe you're going by. I guess I should say, because it's Marvel, it's not DC. But he's basically gotten strips of adamantium placed over his skeletal system, mainly his skull, spine, and fists, which basically make them indestructible to like any sort of impact. And it would take like super precision to be able to break through them, because you'd have to go around the strips where they are. But that leads me to who I think would win this fight. So, any object Bullseye has in his hand is automatically a lethal weapon. If he picks up a stick, he can kill. He picks up a rock, he can kill you with it. He picks up, like I said, he could pick up a toothpick, a cigarette, a gumball, a fucking nail off the ground or something. He could pick, and he can kill you with it, right from hundreds of yards away. However, being able to, like I said, tag the Flash with a bullet, to me makes Deadshot a much more superior marksman. And considering Deadshot carries weapons on him, the whole, oh, I can grab anything and kill you with it, isn't really that much of a factor, considering, well, I've got weapons on me, so it doesn't really matter what you improvise, And if you're worried about the adamantium, well, I said it would take surgical precision to shoot around the strips of adamantium. Well, Deadshot's helmet has X-ray, it has infrared, it's got all these different ways of scoping you. He'd be able to detect that there's metal lacing his skeleton and just shoot around it, because he's that damn good. Both of these guys, I mean, it would be like a tiny, minuscule difference between these two to determine who the winner is. And, like I said, they both are assassins that just kill with one shot. And when you have two of them, it's really hard to determine a winner, but I think, in this case, it's who has the claim. Like, whatever someone's claim to victory is, can the other person bypass that? Because if so, then that is pretty much a win for them. So in this case, I'm going to give it to Deadshot because he can work around the one thing that Bullseye has going for him outside of the one-hit kill thing. So yeah, I'm gonna say Deadshot wins this. But anyway, Verbal 95. See ya.